Hey there, everyone, and welcome back to the Creativity Broadcast. I'm your host, Laura, and I'm here to do a collective creativity reading. And this is for you if you are a creative person, if you are sensitive to the energies around us, curious about how you might use them, or working your relationship with a creative project and your creative spirit, your creative self. So, on this channel, I have a variety of different types of video to support your creative life. These collective creativity readings are here to help us connect with ourselves and each other in a deeper, more meaningful way, and to try to make sense of all of the kind of crazy energies around. And they're like really crazy right now. As always, these are meant to support your process. So please funnel them through your intuition. This is not to be taken as specific, directives or anything like that. And as we go through this reading, you might find yourself wanting to take some notes. So if you want to grab a journal or something like that, to settle in and see what sticks. Yep. Okay, cool. So with that, let's just go ahead and take a deep breath. The image that I'm getting right now, this is consistent with the readings that we've been doing these last couple of weeks. It's almost like someone being like, sit down, kid. Like I'm being pressed into the floor, chill, but also melt, almost like I am a stick of butter, just getting melted into the ground. There's a song coming to me right now, Sound of Settling by Death Cab for Cutie. Do you know it? This is the sound of settling. All right, let's go ahead and get some, I think for overarching energetic message today, we're actually going to start with Sacred Rebels Oracle, because I'm feeling a lot of like restlessness. And let's just start with this and see where it takes us. Now I have that song stuck in my head. Are you gonna hunger? Am I allowed to sing it on YouTube? I actually don't know. I actually don't know. I should probably figure that out. All right, let's see here. Sacred Rebels. Hope y'all are doing really well. Let's see here. Since my last creativity reading, some of you have watched the video I put out with an update about my band. We had our debut show since I've seen you all. Exciting. Transformational. Okay. Let me just key into this energy one more time. It's funny, for like crazy energy, it's like telling me very specifically these two cards. Let's see. Oh my God, stop it. You guys, come to life. New birth guarded vigilantly. Wow, you can't make this stuff up. Oh my God. All right. Okay, so let's start. How beautiful that these came together, come to life and new birth guarded vigilantly. So come to life is about living with the spirit of the artist. This is about awakening a new sense of how your creativity and your passion get to live in your body. You can see in this image, she's actually painting onto her skin and being watched over by animals. This is a message about embodiment and letting yourself actually feel your creativity physically and letting it in a different way. And then new birth guarded vigilantly. I mean, look how cute this is. She's basically got baby Groot on her sleeve there. And this card is all about something opening up, and it's tender and it's vulnerable and it needs to be protected. I mean, I'm laughing a little bit internally because I literally just said we had our first show last weekend and it's been transformational. I'm definitely seeing myself very differently on the other side of this. So it feels both like a new level of embodiment for me and also this new birth guarded vigilantly energy feels really very accurate. Okay, so let's start with come to life. We got number 43. Okay, let's see. Come to life. You are the most sacred of all sacred artworks. You are bringing yourself to life now, and this is how it must be. Of course, something being essential doesn't mean it will always be easy. You must support yourself and have courage during this process. Your monkey mind is not to run the show. It might have a lot to say. And at times, it seems very convincing, but it is not the one in charge. Your mind can inspire you with ideas. However, it is the real you that speaks through your rebellious, sacred heart and is living your life, not the monkey mind. The mind is not much more than a swirling cacophony of habitual reactions. Beneath habitual thoughts, there is a deep, sensual, creative, and energetic awakening happening to you. It is so far beyond what the mind is now capable of controlling. Others might not like it because it shakes things up. Coming to life tends to do that. However, it is happening now, and the only real choice you have to make is how to deal with it. Coming to life means feeling. It might bring joy, but it could equally bring sadness, rage, or fear. It could bring all of these and more. Feelings will come and go quite swiftly when allowed to flow. You might need to paint, write, enact ritual, sing, or dance to help your feelings flow and help the energy flow. Don't hold back. Create the space for yourself to do it. In this process, you are uncovering the artistry of the universal creator. You are honoring the sacredness of life by exploring it without restraint, and that includes the flow of your feelings. You don't have to do anything with them other than express. Okay. Yeah. So much of this is about letting ourselves feel. I was sharing with some of my coaching clients. A lot of my coaching clients have been coming to me with like, I'm having this body stuff right now. And it just feels intense and very real. And me too. I feel like this autumn I've been cycling through lots of like normal ailments for me, like migraine, stomach, ankle. And my interpretation, again, this is not medical advice, so don't take this like at the expense of actually talking to a medical professional. But energetically, how I've been interpreting this for myself is that as I'm opening up to this new level of embodiment, the old ways of processing through challenges or ailments, for example, are it's like they're cycling them through me one last time to kind of purge out this old way of stopping. For lack of a better way of explaining that. And so much of like when we're actually waking up to creativity and to the sensual feeling of our passion and our creative life, our bodies respond and they have to process, like they need space to actually process. So if this is resonating and you're like, why is it that my ankle is doing XYZ? It hasn't done that in years. It's like, well, first of all, it probably needs medical attention. So do it. But emotionally, our bodies do need time and space to process. And if you're highly sensitive, this is extra true. And if you're anything like me, often your body will process things because your brain like doesn't want to look at it. So that's interesting. Okay, let's now look at new birth guarded vigilantly. I opened straight to it. Just one page away. In every creative process, in every birth, in every opening of a new cycle of life, there is a time of vulnerability. This vulnerability is natural and appropriate. It is the foal learning to become steady on its legs. Those legs will become remarkably powerful in time. But the process of growth and maturity has to take place, and that requires some wobbly first attempts. It cannot be any other way. Within you, perhaps even below the level of your conscious awareness, there is fresh new life emerging, like a vibrant green shoot rising up from the earth. That's the coming to life that's happening. This new life is in need of your attention and your care. This could be a new relationship that needs tending with interest and kindness. It could be a new idea that you need to nurture into fullness because it is going to hold special purpose for your life path. It might be something within you, a new behavior, a new way of looking at yourself, or a new way of being in the world that you need to tend to until it becomes more natural for you to embody. Okay, how wonderful. So we're kind of being given these two messages at once, and I'm just struck by the co-validation in these, like with new birth guarded vigilantly, we're being affirmed in this kind of new awakening. We're also being asked to remember that this is something that needs tending to. And tending can look like a lot of different things. It can look like getting lots of rest. It can look like sharing with somebody about what's happening so you have some space to verbally process and be received and get reflections from other people. It may be simply that you find yourself needing like a surprising amount of alone time just to kind of process and integrate. Or maybe you need to like go out there and like do your art a bit and let yourself play and try and fail and see what happens. It's kind of up to you to figure out like, what does it mean right now to tend to these new parts of me that are emerging. One other thing I do want to say about the tending is that tending is a very gentle way of being. It's like attending to something, which is like attending to the needs of it. And so we're not trying to force it to grow really fast. We're not trying to expect like tip-top performance from this like brand new little thing. Okay. So watch if you have any tendency to do that. I definitely do. This is, I think, one of the challenges of I'm a manifestor when it comes to human design. Also, my sun sign is Leo. So there's like a lot of wanting to shine and wanting to be really, really good at things really fast. And just wanting to like jump to the future that I know is possible. You can't rush it. And this message is actually asking us to intentionally not rush it and instead slow down and tend to this part of ourselves, tend to the needs. That's so beautiful. Oh, I love it so much. Okay, I think let's go to... okay, we're going to do the wild unknown animal spirit for this second bit of this. And let's ask for a little bit of clarification on this tending message. I wonder what the animals will say about the tending. They're going to just jump out at me when they're ready and they have something to say. Who wants to shed some light on this for us? Ooh! Firefly. Literally just jumped out. Sweet Firefly. Look at it. Oh, sorry, the glare. I'm trying something new with my light. You have to tell me if you like it or not. Okay, let's read Firefly. I can't believe we just got little Firefly. Aww. Again, just one page away when I opened it. That's so cool. It's very encouraging. Firefly. Inspired and fantastic, yet fleeting. Inspired and fantastic. That's such a cute way to say that. The firefly contains the light of 1,000 stars. That's so fantastical. I love it. It's pure, radiant, and illuminating. This high-frequency charge cannot be sustained for long. Therefore, the Firefly card indicates a moment of inspiration or awakening that quickly fades if we don't catch it. There's Firefly energy behind every poem, song, and invention. Our job is to be ready to harness this creative spirit when it graces our path. What can you do to support this precious and elusive light? When in balance, writes creates brainstorms. When out of balance, burnt out and feels dull. To bring into balance, write a poem or draw. Wow, I feel like we literally just got instruction about the tending, right? Like this experience of like it burns bright and then it's gone really quickly, and that has a certain impact to our system. And I also really want to highlight that according to the Wild and Unknown Animal Spirit deck, which we just read from, that the antidote for this is to create, like be in your creative practice, doodle or listen to music or write something or create, This is one of those like laws of ontology that always stuns me, which is like if you're feeling really drained, sometimes the best way to reverse the drain is to generate something, because it sort of like summons your power and like summons your energy. That said, it is feeling very important for me to remind this is for some people watching this, that is not to be done at the expense of rest and restoration. But it just means that Firefly energy, which can be very like stop and start and crazy, can be evened out with like a healthy amount of rest and then just continuing the creative practice. So I'm kind of getting that this Firefly is here to remind us that part of the journey that we might be on with our creativity in this particular chapter is actually to get off of the roller coaster and creating something that's a little bit more consistent and healthy for us and sustainable. Because, creativity can be such a freaking roller coaster. And so I think little Firefly is here to be like, hey, like, remember, Firefly is also a little creature with a big light. And so, like, it probably is worth inquiring, like, oh, okay, little creature, big light. What does it take for this little creature to sustain its big light? Maybe this is an opportunity to look more at rest, or remembering that you can be in your creativity without it necessarily being a huge emotional reflection on your identity. Firefly. It's so sweet and cute. I'm getting that there's one more reading to do. Let's go with Sacred Destiny. I think that's the answer here. Okay, let's see. Oh my gosh. Hold on. Yes? Okay, Ringo. You can go sit over there. Go on. I don't know if you could hear, because this mic is pretty specific, but he was literally whining outside the door, and he never whines. Ringo. He doesn't like when I do these because I'm not paying attention to him. Okay. Maybe there's some Chihuahua mix wisdom in this reading for us. We'll have to see what happens. All right, Sacred Destiny. You are also just going to pop out when you're ready. Embracing. Oh, that's beautiful. I don't think I've ever gotten this card before. Floodplains. A floodplain is a naturally occurring phenomenon in which the land adjacent to a river floods out to far banks of the surrounding land during times of high water. Land that is normally dry may be underwater for a period of time. When this occurs, silt, sand, and nutrients are deposited. For this reason, floodplains are often areas of great fertility as well as rich ecosystems. They are excellent areas for lush, abundant crops. It is a natural occurrence that allows life in all areas to thrive. Sometimes life overflows with emotions which can feel uncomfortable. It's just like come to life. However, the ensuing result of this discomfort can be of great value, perhaps arising from an unseen or an unknown source. You get this card when emotions are seemingly overflowing or not flowing at all. Cherish the overflow of emotions and embrace the times that seem murky, For your inner floodplains are being replenished, and as a result, there will be great spiritual and physical expansion. Embrace all your emotions. When you do so, greater prosperity and fertility will flow into your life. Alternatively, if your emotions have been blocked, this is the time to explore and experience them. Wow. No kidding. Amazing. So this is really doubling down on that come to life energy, that experience of like, hey, let it flow. Actually, don't stop the emotions. Remember that you're probably processing through something that's part of awakening your passion and your artistry. It's all in that second chakra area. So it's possible that some of the waves of emotion, they might feel really big, and then you might have a very intense contraction, like your inner child just had a big tantrum and then feels super vulnerable. That would make sense. Just make sure to give yourself a lot of space and be sweet to yourself around that. Embracing is also giving us new birth, guarded vigilantly, again, because it's saying, hey, this is a time of new beginning. Remember that as the emotional waters are rushing through, it creates a sense of vulnerability, and that's okay. But just remember to tend. Oh my gosh, look at these little birdies. Oh, they're not, well, Firefly's not a bird, but I like that they're both in flight and they have very different energy. But we've got a lot of similar themes here between the creature of the sky and then the lighting up in the dark. Well, thanks everybody for joining me. If you found this helpful, please go ahead and give it a like, because it tells me what kind of content you guys are all enjoying and finding useful. And if you'd like to receive more from me here at the Creativity Broadcast, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. And I do a reading every week for this creativity collective that's growing. There's so many of you, and I don't know most of you personally yet, which is so cool and exciting. So please feel free to leave a comment below. Let me know what your big takeaways are, what's sticking out to you and resonating, and make sure to poke around the rest of the Creativity Broadcast. I have links to a bunch of free things like my free guide, Uncover Your Creative Magic, as well as other courses like Creative Clear Out to clear out creative baggage and really get back into healthy creative practice. And also just love hearing from people about what's resonating. So yeah, thanks. And I'll see you soon.